Episode 92 of Unbillable, we talk about multi-party litigation and tell an old school story about fried rice in law school. You're watching Unbillable 92. All right, Luis is here trying to catch the explanation of some information to my lovely assistant Karla, who continues to be a willing guinea pig to the Unbillable crowd. So if you see her in the streets, buy her a drink. Anyways, all right, so first and foremost, TSC stands for Trial Setting Conference. Get that out of the way. All right. The parties whose names are in a lawsuit are the first two parties suing each other. So you could have like an owner of a piece of property suing the neighbor. It could be like the owner of the property's name is, I don't know, Joe Donaldson. And their neighbor could be like Eric Peterson, and it would be Donaldson versus Peterson. I'm just making names up, all right? Whatever, okay? That's all. That would be one versus another. So if you think like if you're a family law attorney, right? Generally speaking, your parties to your lawsuit are only going to be a husband and a wife and a husband, right? The two parties getting divorced. Occasionally, there could be an attorney for a minor child or a grandparent's rights type of claim, but more or less, there's only two parties to a family law case. Family law is easy. All my family law lawyers out there are like are cringing when I say that. Listen, it's not easy. Nothing that has the word law in it is easy. But family law is really broken down into like a two-party lawsuit, generally speaking. And then there's only really 5 things that get covered in family law. What makes it difficult is the emotion. The emotion are at their highest when you're talking about love, kids, relationships, how you're going to take care of yourself, how you used to or once at one time took care of one another, right? So family law is difficult because of the emotion. I don't do family law. Business and real estate is difficult, well, a couple reasons. Number one, money, double money hands. It's always money. But more importantly, so the email going through, right? Just hammering home how important it is. The parties are endless. The owner of the party can sue the contractor. The contractor could sue a subcontractor. A subcontractor could sue that contractor back, could sue the owner, could sue the neighbor, could sue a material supply person. There's no limit. It's all about what happened at a project or at an event. And every problem or dispute that took place at that project or event gets resolved in one lawsuit. So our lawsuit, we represent one subcontractor who did one piece of work on the project, right? They're not the main character, if you will, in the lawsuit. The owner is suing the contractor. The contractor has now named other subcontractors. Those subcontractors have named subcontractors to them. I know, I see you laughing. But that's why our client's name is not in the actual title. The reason it's Donaldson versus Peterson, and we over here represent, I don't know, Ruiz, right? So the case is still going to be Donaldson versus Peterson, but Ruiz is in it because at some point Peterson sued someone else who then sued Ruiz, and that's how we're in it.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Does that make sense?
It just gets confusing because you see all of these names and they're in the little box on the bottom that said like cross defendant. And you're like, so then what the hell is going up here? You know, with the big box.
Well, it depends. There's a plaintiff who sues defendants.
Yeah.
Defendants become cross complainants when they sue other defendants who then become cross defendants.
But there's like 20 of them. How does the court deal with all of them?
Very carefully. I mean, they just deal with it. I mean, that's the answer. You just deal with it. It's paperwork. It's a paperwork nightmare. The more parties that are in there, the more expensive it generally gets because the more paperwork has to go out everywhere all over the place. And that's why my diagram looks like this and is borderline unusable for the unbillies out there because it's a conversation that's sort of endless. It's infinite. As long as the project has more characters, you can always sue somebody else down the chain. And a lot of times people do that in hopes of, apportioning blame. Like, oh, if I caused $100 of damage, 70 of it's because so-and-so didn't get me what I needed.
There's this one case that you brought up last time. It was the one person that started this. Because before it was it was just one person and I didn't blame on another and another and another and another. Okay. That was interesting.
Yeah, Palsgraf.
Yeah, I just didn't know it was going to be this confusing.
Yeah, that's real life though. That's Palsgraf. Palsgraf is the seminal case that cuts off liability. And so you learn about it in your first year of law school. And if you take my class, I talk about it because I don't know, to me it's like the seminal, like, it's what terminates the causation through a chain of events. Yeah. But generally speaking, in these types of disputes, it's all about one project, especially the one we're talking about right now. You and I know it's a construction project, so I know it's contractors, subcontractors, subcontractors, and then material suppliers all getting dragged in to this lawsuit. And yeah.
Okay.
Wake up, everybody, wake up.
Why wake up?
What do you mean, why wake up? This is like the thickness that makes law like boring, heavy, gross. I mean, listen, if this job was easy, nobody would pay the high legal rates. Yeah. Like, how much would you charge someone to like write an essay for them, to do their homework, to do their paperwork? I mean, that's what a lot of this is, right? How much would you charge, like, every time your friend got in trouble, if you had to go to the principal's office instead of them and explain what they did and how they shouldn't get in trouble, right? How much would you charge to kind of take the blame for other people? Welcome to Unbillable. I'm gonna get up and close this door so we have a little bit of privacy here. It's gonna keep the fan from blowing in, which is bad. But I want to talk to you candidly about something, Unbillies. You might not believe it, but there's a right and a wrong way to complain about stuff. And I'm not talking about putting it on Twitter. I'm talking about, when I'm not here doing the law practice, and I'm not at Cal State San Bernardino Palm Desert campus teaching the class, and I'm not home working on my Harvard online course, which I just finished, and I got a certification of completion, so that's great. That's in the rearview mirror now. When I'm not busy doing those things, I have the honor of being the president of the Children's Discovery Museum of the Desert. We've talked about this on a couple prior vlogs. We've been building and revamping and putting in a lot of work at the museum, and as you make changes, of course, people have opinions about those changes, about ways you could do it better, or about changes that you've made that they don't like. I totally appreciate and understand that. I'm not actually making a video complaining about people complaining. What I want to say is the following. There's like a right way and a wrong way to do it, and I want to encourage everybody, not just about the museum, but about anything that you're involved in or that you have an opinion about. There is a right way and a wrong way to complain, and I want to use my audience here to share with you what I think is the right way to go about it, because I'm holding in my hand a letter here that I received, and the person didn't put their name on it. They put a bunch of suggestions and I'll say concerns that they have about the museum, and I can appreciate that. In fact, I would love to sit down and talk to them about the ways we can improve the museum, specifically to address the things that they're raising in their letter, but they don't put their name on it. They don't put their name or contact information. They didn't sign it. I get an anonymous letter in the mail. I mean, the reason I'm highlighting this is because at the very same time, I got a email from someone. I'm gonna keep the names out of this. I don't have a name. That's kind of part of the point, right? I don't have a name for this one at all. I have no contact information for this one at all. But somebody else emailed me, similarly saying they wanted to introduce themselves. They wanted to raise some points in ways that they think that we can make not only the museum itself better, but maybe even improve the board. And they asked me to contact them so we could talk about it. I've already emailed that person back. I'm eager and excited to hear what they have to say. I'm always open to outside opinions. And anybody who is running a business, or a nonprofit business for that matter, the right way is open to outside suggestion and is always looking to improve, and I'm no different. I'm looking to improve as a lawyer. I'm looking to improve as a student. I'm looking to improve as a professor. I'm definitely looking to improve the Children's Discovery Museum. So I can appreciate the person. I can appreciate the person that wrote me the letter and was anonymous. I understand maybe your desire to remain in the shadows or to not necessarily put who you are out there. However, there's only a limited amount of work I can do to actually address your concerns, whereas the person who's reached out and made themselves available, I can virtually guarantee not only will all of their concerns be addressed, but we're going to do whatever we can to fix those things. I mean, that's just the real that's just the truth. Like, if you're in business and your customers have a legitimate complaint, you're going to do whatever it takes to resolve that complaint. If you have a employee that's rude to the customers and a ton of customers start complaining to you about that employee's gone, right? I mean, you do what you need to do to make the customers happy. Otherwise, your business will be gone. Your business will be what's gone. If you don't take those steps, your failure to act will be the failure of your business. And it's no different for the museum. So we're taking steps to make it better. The museum's like, I mean, everything is up. Fundraising's up. People attending is up. Sort of the general knowledge of its existence is up. I mean, probably from things maybe even like this, me talking about it. But it's not just about the museum. It can be about anything. Anything that you're willing to take the time to write a letter expressing your displeasure or your concerns or your complaints, put your name on it, have some follow-up. You never know. I would have invited this person in. They could have been leading the charge on resolving some of the very things that they're concerned about. Instead, I'm never talking to them again because I don't know who they are. And if they're watching this, they should like it, hit the comments. You know, I mean, I literally have no idea who they are. But the person who sent me their email with their name on it and their telephone number, they've already been in communication with me, and I've already been in communication with them, I should say. And I look forward, like I said, I look forward to resolving their concerns. I look forward to making the museum better. That's why I volunteer my time on it. All right, let's get back to work. So I thought we would tell a story from law school. We'll change the names, but any of my friends from law school know this is... when you go to law school, you're put in sections. So you have the same people in all of your classes because everything's going to be ranking, right? You're going to be ranked against one another. So you have the same people in all of your classes. So inevitably you become friends with people probably in that section. So in my section, I definitely had a bunch of friends, and oftentimes we would go together to have lunch. And sometimes we would go get fried rice from Panda Express. And if you know anything about, well, I mean, I got more than just fried rice, but the person I'm talking about in particular would just get fried rice. And they would sit there and pick all those tiny peas and carrots out of the fried rice. And I used to just say, well, why don't you get plain rice? And they said it would taste different. I just never understood like the time spent on picking out all those peas and carrots, right? Just think about it. A bowl of rice, tiny little peas and carrots, how much time it takes to pick them all out. Well, there's one time in particular where our friend took the sweet time necessary to pick out all the little peas and carrots, had a little pile of peas and carrots on the side, and their fried rice was all ready to eat. They got up and went to the bathroom. It wasn't me necessarily, but I did nothing to stop the person. Another person who will also remain nameless picked up the peas and carrots, dumped them back into the rice. This happened like, I don't know, 17 years ago. I still feel a little bit of bad. I still feel a little bad about this. I mean, the time it takes, I'm sorry. If you're watching this episode, you know who you are. I'm sorry for not stopping the pea and carrot redistribution into your rice. I apologize profusely. There's probably nothing I can do to make up for it, except for maybe one day. You know what? One day we'll go to Pan Express and I'll get you fried rice and I will take the peas and carrots out for you. Because I'm pretty sure you're still a picky eater. Yeah, that's you know what? That's episode 92's nugget from law school 15 plus years ago. Loyola Law School, Los Angeles. You know, shout out to, I think it's Taylor Vlogs, commented on a recent episode saying that they hope to one day go to law school. More power to you. If you're watching, definitely hit the like. You know what? Everybody out there, if you like this episode, hit the like button. If you have a comment, something you want to ask me, something you want me to share, maybe a legal or legal-ish question, put it in the comments below. Of course, subscribe. We're pushing for subscribers, so be sure to hit the subscribe button, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Hit the subscribe, hit the little bell, notifications, all that stuff. Tune into the next episode because you'll see us. We'll see you on the next episode of Unbillable. Roll on up, Luis.